Hi, my name is Yesenia, and in this video I am going to explain about chapter 16, the written language, from the book The Study of the Language, 6th edition. Um, the writing is the symbolic representation of the language through the use of graphic signs. It seems that writing is an ancient language. However, it is more recent than you think. The oldest writing is known as cuneiform, and the cuneiform is the image that you can see here. That seems that it is a piece of table, and yes, it is. The cuneiform mark on tablet about 5,000 years ago. And also we have the ancient Mesopotamia, and this is another kind of writing, and it was the first form of writing like you can see here. A, B, C, D, E, etc. And over the years, the writing system has been transformed from the images to what we know today as letters. And that is why I am going to outline how the grading system has been changed or transformed. Images can be used to represent events, and pictograms are one of them. Pictograms are symbols that represent objects, concepts, or ideas through visual resemblance or connections. The magic of the language of pictograms is that these images can be represented in different languages and countries around the world. For example, here I got for you this image that is the is a photo from the Singapore airport, and like you can see here, you can find image of a airplane. It represents river. And another example is this image that represents Wi-Fi. Okay, then we have the ideograms. The distinction between pictograms and ideograms is essentially a difference in the relationship between the symbol and the entity it represents. And the more picture-like forms are pictograms, and the more abstract derived forms are ideograms. For example, here I got for you the image representation of the sounds. Um, Here we have first that many years ago, the image that represented the sound was the first image, not the yellow color, but the next. And the years pass over, and the symbolic representation of the sound is the last. And then we have logograms. Logograms represent whole words. Writing systems that make use of logograms include Chinese, Egyptian, um, and others countries around the world. But um, but this combination of logograms we use around the world. For example, here I have an example that is the symbol of dollar. This is a logogram, and this is a whole word, dollar. So, non-noun writing system is totally logographic. For example, logograms and syllables representing particular sound of syllables in another country. And then we have the phonographic writing. And the phonographic writing, as the years went by, the images that representing the writing of an idea were transformed. The sound was incorporated to represent words where the sound and the image go together and people can understand the idea. Is here where we found the rebus principle. The rebus principle is called to a kind of language that represents a word but by the sound of another image or another object. For example, here, if we go together be plus live, we can create the word believe. So this is the principal robot. Then we have the syllabic writing. And the syllabic writing, when a writing system employs a set of symbols, each one representing the pronunciation of a syllable, it is described as syllabic writing. And today we do not use some syllabary to represent words or ideas. And yes, maybe you are thinking about the syllabary with which we learned to read when we were a child. And it is not read to reality because in the syllabarium you put together two letters and you transform it to a consonant or a sound. For example, M, I, me, for example. And for example, here we have a kind of syllabic writing, but today we are not using this kind of form of writing. And now we have the alphabetic writing. And the alphabetic writing, and here letters represent individual sounds or phonemes. This type of writing system is sometimes called a consonantal alphabet. That is the normal alphabet that we know, A, B, C, D, E. So the basic order of letter symbol is the first A, B, C, D, and was created about 3,000 years ago by the phonetics and continues to be used as our primary ordering. And this is the alphabetic writing. And finally, we have the writing English. And the writing English, we analyze the complexities of English orthography, highlighting variation and irregularities in spelling and pronunciation. Because a single phoneme in English can be represented by multiple letters due to the historical borrowing from other languages. And this is the writing language. When you put different sounds but represented by symbols. And this is all. This is the history about the writing language. And this is all for now. Thank you.